This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I am your host, covering everything sport, international and local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world, whether it's 95 FM, Pulse95Radio.com, our app, Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, or even if you're tuning in on the YouTube live as we look at you in the cameras here in the studio in the heart of Sharjah on Pulse 95. Thank you for being part of my show and also being with us on the hour. Now, see guys, I've had coaches, I've had athletes, I've had specialists, but I've never had a referee. So I thought I would give you the view of a referee, and I'll tell you one thing, what makes this episode really interesting is what the referee sees is very different to what a player sees, what a coach sees, and what the fans see. And right now we don't have fans, we do have coaches, we do have players, but I have a referee here in the Pulse 95 studio, and I'll tell you one thing, Dusan Dimitrijevic is going to be on the show today. He's, in my opinion, the best referee I've ever seen on the pitch in the UAE, and I can't wait to have questions answered for you guys here. He coaches men, he coaches women, and he has a very, very good knowledge on the game, so I can't wait to have that with you guys today. Shoot us a message on 4215 Ittasalat or do slide into my DMs at Omar Al-Duri on Instagram and let me know what you think. It's going to be very interesting, guys. Go get yourself a drink, and I'll see you right after this.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I am your host, covering everything sport, international and local. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in on the Instagram Live at Omar Al-Duri, and thank you for spending this hour with us today on the Halftime Show. Really appreciate your time. I'm going to make it special for you because I have, for the first time ever on the Halftime Show, I have a professional referee who's got, I think, over 13 years experience, if I'm not mistaken. His name is Dusan Dimitrijevic, probably the coolest name as well. Dushan, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
How are you?
All good, thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Now, Dushan, the way the referees do think is very interesting because we don't often ask what goes through a referee's mind because we're too fixated on the game. Tell me, how did it all start for you as a person before becoming a professional referee?
I don't know. I just signed up for a course back home in Serbia, and then, you know, like years were passing by. You just need to like work on yourself. Being a referee is everything about like experience. You know? More matches you ref, more different situations you have. Obviously, you will get like more experience. Making the proper decisions.
Right, and that's obviously improved over a long period of time. How many years has it been since you've been professional referee?
So 7 years back home, already 6 years in the UAE.
Amazing. And how has it been different from Serbia to the UAE in terms of refereeing different players?
In Serbia, I done like on a professional level.
Yes.
So it's a whole different thing, like, because whenever you have like professional football clubs, they invest a lot of money. So it's like you really need to be 100% into it.
Yes.
Here, it's, how can I say, people enjoy more in football, and it's not so tensed like on a professional level.
Yes, yes. And you've coached both men and women.
Yeah.
Which is harder?
Women.
Okay, but you know what? I'll tell you one thing, because you've coached at a high level. Women take it just as serious as men, sometimes even more serious.
More serious, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's probably how it gets difficult to manage under the regulations, under, you know, the laws that we have to be able to control, you know, the games. Talk to me about that experience of coaching in the AWFL and the women's leagues here.
No, it's amazing. The level of football is very high. Everyone is putting a lot of effort, like coaches, players, pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Is it like more, has it surprised you how prepared the teams are, the coaches are, the players are?
Everything from the organization, players, coaches, teams, everything is on a very high level. Yeah. And I'm very surprised, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, one thing, Dushan, I want to ask you is, not many football fans become professional referees, but they always have the opinions on referees.
Yeah.
How come you chose to be a referee?
I don't know. It just came up. I don't know. It's simply like after a couple of years, it gets into your blood.
Right.
And I remember back home when I was in Serbia.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for that weekend to come.
Yes.
For the tension, for like everything, and then after some time, I don't know. I see it as a lifestyle. It's simply like a lifestyle now.
That's interesting you say that, because I know for a fact I couldn't do what you do, because it takes such a level of skill to be a professional, to control, to manage not just the players, not just the coaches, not just the fans or the audience. It takes a lot of discipline to do that. How hard has that been to adapt to as a professional referee over the last couple of years?
I don't know. Like I pretty much give my best to be as professional as I can.
Yeah.
As a professional referee, you should know how you should behave.
Yes.
You have to be very patient with players. You have to try and explain your decisions if it's possible. If not, you just continue to do what you're doing, and that's pretty much it.
We got some really good questions for you already here. Some of them. Okay, so how do you get to be a referee? Do you start as a player or as a coach to make the transition, or neither?
Actually, I'll be honest. I was a handball goalkeeper before I started refereeing.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, everything came. Like, being a referee came with experiences, a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like I told you, a lot of different situations. And from that, you actually learn. You have to have a good rules background.
Yes.
So you have to know what you're doing. You have to know where you're supposed to stand to see a situation properly.
Yeah.
And, physically, you have to be very well prepared.
You have to be fit.
Yeah, to try and be like at least 2 to 3 meters from the situation so you can see it clearly.
Interesting. Really interesting. We got some more questions here coming in. Hold on. All right. So, are there any calls that you have made that you look back now on and regret because they were game changers? That's another very good question.
Yeah, sometimes I feel bad if I don't see the situation properly.
Yeah.
And maybe that affected the final score. But yeah, I do feel bad.
But I mean, having seen you ref, to be very honest, and this is something that I actually really enjoy. It's not many referees that I enjoy watching. Having seen you ref, you're pretty sharp on your decisions. Like, you're very consistent. Sometimes you get one call that is a bit, out there, and the other call that's on the line. And do you ever take anything home with you, or do you leave it on the pitch in terms of decisions?
I take it home.
Really?
Which is not so good, but I do it because, I don't know, like I told you, it's a lifestyle for me.
Yes.
And yeah, some things I really take like personally. Did I made a right decision? Is it going to affect the other players?
Yes.
Because also I don't want to feel them. I don't want them to feel bad.
Absolutely. Does it ever carry on into the next game with the same team or players? That's a good question for you.
Yes. But I try to put it on the side, but
at least you're honest. I like that. I like that. Well, there you have it, folks. There's the first segment. I told you it was going to be good. A lot of insight, by the way. I've never ever had a referee on the show here, so a lot of insight on how they see things, and also how honest. And then, by the way, not all referees are as honest as this one here. So very honest with the way they perceive things. But we'll be right back after the break. I'm going to play some tunes for you. Danny Neville's track is on point, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
There you have it. Just a little bit of a different intro for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And remember, if you do miss our shows, you can catch us on the Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Anghami. Or if you prefer a visual, Super Mario and Gabby are on the YouTube Live, making sure that we're good and in check for you guys. Right, okay, so on the show today, Dushan is here, and we are talking about looking at it from a different perspective, a referee's perspective. Dushan, tell me, I don't think referees get enough respect in sport. When it comes down to that, how does that affect your mental health? Because in the first segment, you said to me that, sometimes if you make a wrong decision, which is fine because you're human, you take it home and you think about it. How does it affect you mentally?
I don't know, like before every match, because pretty much I'm refereeing the leagues and stuff, you know the teams and you know the players, and I don't know. I try to prepare mentally for every evening, and you know, like it's when you're refereeing. When you're refereeing, I don't know, during the match, the easiest thing is to give them a yellow or a red card for their misbehavior.
Yeah.
But then again, you're trying to keep them in the game as much as you can.
Yeah.
Try to be tolerant with them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I do take a lot of things back home, you know.
Do you find yourself sometimes saving players or teams from ruining the game?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. I'm trying to keep them safe. I try to keep them in the game.
Yeah.
And I also trying to keep them safe, because some players, they lose it, and then the other players can simply injure them or make it
out of safety and harm as well. One of the questions from Mohammed has come in here, really good question actually. What kind of mental training does a referee do? Because he has to capture a scene that happens in milliseconds, and I'm sure that's very difficult. Do you have anything specific or a routine that you do to calm you or to get you ready for a game?
Pretty much after doing this for so long, I don't know, I'm used to it. But to catch a situation properly, you have to be close.
Right.
You have to be like 2 to 3 meters from the situation, and then you can make a right call.
Very interesting. Okay, so Terry says other sports like rugby and cricket have off-pitch referees and umpires that can make a call if a referee has missed something. Would that ever be something in football? I guess that's VAR, isn't that?
Yeah, it is.
So what's your take on VAR? Because it's getting a lot of mixed reviews.
Honestly, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But recently we had a match like Everton-Liverpool.
Yes.
Where I really asked myself, why do you need a linesman? Like, if you're gonna catch it like a 1 millimeter offside, then better remove him.
Yeah.
He's, you know, it's a good thing. It's really a good thing, because some things you cannot see. But if I'm talking about the Premier League, it's getting a bit like over and above with certain decisions, you know. So you should just let the referee, like, you know, if it's a 1 millimeter offside, just, you know.
Here's a question for you, and this is my own question. Because I know you as a referee, and I know your consistency as a referee, has VAR let other referees get lazy with their decisions?
Yes.
Good answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about that? I know my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion.
Let's say like they're not putting the same effort like before, because he knows that if he gets it correct, okay, perfect. If he doesn't get it, VAR will change his decision in a proper decision. So he's not putting an effort like before.
Right. Right. That's interesting. And with that, I want to stick to that just before we move on. So with VAR and everything that's been introduced, different countries have different regulations regarding that. So how the referees check, or if they have someone in the back checking for them. Do you believe that the referee should be able to make that decision solely, or do you think that it's better for them to have someone else watch the decision again?
No. It's better. Like, for him to watch the proper video, it's much better, you know?
Right. Interesting. I agree with that, because the opinions could be different.
Of course, yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so we've noticed the growth in the UAE in terms of football, you know, men and women. What have you noticed most about, you know, the development in men and women's football here in the UAE that you've refereed?
The quality is getting better. Like, let's say, for example, like coaches and academies in general are working much more with players, you know, putting extra effort for the quality. Before, like, I remember like 5 years ago, it was not like, the main thing was for the people to have fun. But I think you should also learn to play football properly, like to do a proper throw-in. You should also, I see a lot of coaches are updating their players about the football rules.
Nice.
So, for example, he knows that he needs to ask for me to like make a wall, like, you know, those things, which I'm very surprised in a positive way.
Yes, now that's very interesting. One of the things I can't leave you without talking, I've seen that we talk about respect in sport. Now, it's one thing to have the players on your back, the coaches on your back. How have you handled parents with their kids? That's a good question. I'm putting him on the spot. I'm only smiling because I know him really well. He's so honest.
So that's the most difficult thing to do. But like, luckily, on a lot of tournaments, they realize that they should just put the parents on the side. To make it easier for everyone, coaches, children, because I think the players should listen to the coaches, not to the parents.
Right.
Okay, obviously, like, the parents think they know the best, but then why do you have the coach there?
Yes, I think the roles are different as well.
Yeah, of course.
You know, one thing, Dushan, I haven't seen, and maybe someone can let me know. Text me on 4215, Ittasalat or do, or slide into my DMs if you know the answer to this. The players have courses. The coaches have courses. The referees have courses. Why not have a courses for parents?
I think coaches should do something
for the parents.
For that, yeah, of course. Like, you know, I don't know, once in 3 months.
Yeah.
You just gather them around. You explain like what you need to explain about some rules that should be followed, and that's it. Yeah, it's very simple. And then the parents are aware what they should do and what they shouldn't do.
I like that. I like that because I know for a fact that the contrast in opinions could be there, but I think if they spend time together, then maybe that would also make life easier as a player, make life easier as a team, and also as a referee and a coach.
Yeah.
Very cool. See, now you gave me an idea there. So if you know if there is a curriculum or a course out there for parents that they can be able to participate in the right manner and in the positive manner for their footballers or their parents, that'd be very interesting. Coming up next, Dushan here has refereed some of the best players in the world. I'm going to drop some names for you guys, and then we can ask me questions for him after the break. Roberto Carlos.
Yeah.
Nicholas Anelka.
Yep.
Fabio Cannavaro.
Yep.
Teddy Sheringham.
Yep.
All right, guys, there you go. I've dropped some names for you guys. I want to hear all from you right after the break. Here's some tune for you, and I'll be right back.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Salam, welcome back to the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. Thank you very much for keeping me company here on the Instagram Live. Like I said, I was explaining to Dushan here that you guys really look after me during the hour on the Halftime Show, and that's why the show goes very quickly. Shout out to Freak Euro, shout out to Keek, Wissam, Zara, my Football Fridays crew, of course, Ahmed S, Aboud. Who else do I have in here? Wissam asked a great question, which I'm going to ask next. Zaid, who's obviously one of the players, I probably say his name mostly in training, but we love him really, and everyone else is tuning in. So thank you very much. Right, okay, Dushan, you have refereed some of the world's biggest superstars. I'm intrigued about a few names, so I'm going to shoot them your way, and I want you to try and be as honest as you can with me, as you normally are. What was Nicholas Anelka like? His documentary came out recently. I was a fan of his growing up. I know he's been misunderstood a lot by being labelled Les Sulk, but some of his coaches actually really praised him. What was your experience like in coaching him? Oh, sorry, not coaching him, refereeing him.
Very chilled.
Yeah.
You know, he's playing his game. He doesn't talk, which is the most easiest thing. And I noticed with these players, you have a couple of times like a question like, why is this, why is that? But they just play their game. The most easiest thing to ref is like them, because they're focused on their game. They don't care about the referee, and that's it. It looks like that's the way that they were coached.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time to waste on the referee.
Right.
You should like take it quickly, try to pass, score a goal. That's it.
Yeah. And with players like Nicholas Anelka, do you see that, for example, with his type of profile, can you tell as a referee that he's been coached by many players, or do you have a certain view on the player based on his career, or do you just referee a superstar like that based on that day?
Just based on that day.
Just based on that day.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you've also refereed a World Cup winner.
Well,
who's that World Cup winner?
Fabio Cannavaro.
Fabio Cannavaro. He seems like quite a nice person. he's not a very nice defender. But how was he to ref him?
I was actually like refereeing his team, so he was a coach.
Okay.
I can say like from the coach, like watching him from the being a coach. Yeah, he's like a chilled guy, you know, like. He doesn't talk too much, but when he's saying something to the players, it's just like he tells it and that's it.
Very direct.
Very direct. Yeah.
Do you ever see the players resemble the coach when you ref them? No, they're all different.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. One of the characters of the world football is Roberto Carlos. How was it refereeing him?
He's a beast.
Really?
He's like, even now in his age, he's still a beast.
Yes.
Like, I was really, I was shocked when you see a guy that
Does he still have it now?
He still has it.
Really? Because there's certain players that I've come across after they finish their career, they look fitter than they were when they're playing. One of them is Seedorf. Have you seen Seedorf now?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also Anelka as well. He's like fit 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still got that quickness?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Is there any player that surprised you that you've refed?
Robbie Keane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
He's a
why.
gentleman. He's
Really?
really an amazing guy.
Okay.
You can never. I had that opportunity to talk with him a little bit.
Yes.
You can never say that like the level that he played.
Yes.
Usually some of the players are like, man, I don't want to waste time on you. But he's very pleasant, very nice.
Very humble.
Yeah, humble. Yeah.
Okay.
Really good guy.
Interesting. Right. Okay. So you say I'm trying to think of all the different footballers you've refed, and it's really interesting to see the different perspectives. Has anyone surprised you? In a I don't want to say in a bad way, but has anyone surprised you in the way that they acted on the pitch?
No, for example, I had a chance to ref Paulinho as well.
Okay.
He doesn't. He is one of the players that I ref that he doesn't stop. He talks like 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Okay,
Really?
he's the captain at 90 minutes. He doesn't stop.
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay. All right. You've asked some very, very good questions, folks. This is the time which I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask Dushan right after the break. I'm going to bring him back and I'm going to ask him the questions you've asked. Stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
It sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Duri. We're almost done, actually, on the Halftime Show, which I'm really, really disappointed because the hour flies on this show, and I love having you guys on air. I love having you guys listen to me on the radio, on Instagram Live, on YouTube, wherever you're listening. It's great. And today is a different perspective. It's a referee's perspective. So we got some questions that you shot in. Wissam, one of my footballers from Football Fridays, has sent me a question saying, Coach, talking about respect, do referees let a player's history influence their decision if he's hard to deal with, or is their decision isolated based on the specific play? Dushan.
Very good question. So the main goal of every referee is to finish their match, to try and make everyone happy at the end of the day. And in every team you have a certain player. Like I told you before, you need to try and keep him there as much as you can. The easiest thing is to give him a yellow or a red card. So you try to manage your match in a good way. Okay, I know that if I give him like 2 or 3 easy fouls on his side, he will be happy. Then maybe on the other side, if it's not, I know that he will complain. So, but I gave him already 2, so he's gonna be fine if I don't give him this one. But I want to say that the player's history can affect.
Interesting.
Decisions.
A question from Ahmed Des as well, one of my other footballers. The footballers are in full effect today. Can the pressure of a game and its importance have an influence on the ref's decision? For example, giving a penalty at the end of a game, which is really important.
Yeah, it can. The thing is, as a referee, even if you're right or wrong, if you made a decision, it's a good thing to stick to it.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, if you change it, it gets hectic.
Yeah.
It really gets hectic.
Does it ever play on your mind during the game, or do you just block that out?
I blocked it.
There was a question that you liked, Dushan. How do you manage the situation if you get confused during the match?
Just like this, I stay 100% on my decision. I don't change it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because otherwise you will lose respect from the players.
Yeah.
They will see from the side, oh my God, this guy's lost.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So better like this. Okay, you made a mistake. Just go through it and continue. That's it.
Yes, and you're currently reffing at the moment at the AWFL. Is that right? And is there another league as well you're reffing at?
Yeah, Dubai Amateur Football League.
Dubai Amateur Football League as well. Yeah. From all these experiences, do you get to build a relationship with coaches or players or even fans with all the frequency of the consistent matches you ref?
Yes, I know. After 6 years of doing this, a lot of players know me. So I'm really happy that I gained their respect.
Yes,
it makes my life easy at the end of the day.
Yes.
Sometimes I have to say it's enough for me just to show up there.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Just to show up there and they know that they're safe.
Yes.
That I'm at the end of the day I'm gonna try and give my best, which is what they want at the end of the day.
Very interesting. You have a presence about you, Dushan, which is also very good for the teams. They're very lucky to have you reffing them. One of the things, where can we follow you on social media? Are you active on social media?
Yeah.
Kind of. So,
yeah.
So I would say for the fans and the players and all the people that normally come to your games, I would say watch out for the referee called Dushan. He's a top referee, and he's someone that's very honest as well, actually, which is fantastic. Dushan, when it comes down to refereeing, do you see a pattern in technology coming into the sport? So obviously with VAR now coming in, everyone's kind of relying on that. But when it comes down to, are you more the old school mentality, which is less technology, or are you more for the new school, which is more cameras, more analysis, more assessments?
New school, because a lot of things are in stake. And it's better, it's better because I will give you an example. Like, for example, if you have a good team playing against not so good team, like for example we have Bayern Munich and Lokomotiv Moscow last night, and then you have 85th minute 0-0 for example, and then there's a decision that referee didn't see in favor of Lokomotiv Moscow.
Right.
So it's a good thing to have it there.
Yeah.
Because it will also help them to maybe win against the bigger teams.
Excellent. Any big things coming up for you? Any interesting matches you're going to ref? Any events that are coming up for you in the near future? So
usually I'm doing the pre-season friendlies in January for the, this year I was doing for pretty much a lot of Chinese Super League teams.
Interesting.
Because of the current COVID situation, we will see what will happen, but I'm hoping for that in January.
Yes.
And then there's a big youth cup in March called Mina Cup.
Right.
I'm also into that, so let's see what's going to happen.
Fantastic. Dushan, thank you very much for gracing us on the halftime show.
It was a pleasure being here.
It was lovely having you here. Very, very interesting perspective. A lot of great questions from the listeners here. We have reached full time. Remember, if you do miss our shows, you can catch us on YouTube. The shows get uploaded by Super Mario and Gabby, who put on the show for us, where you can catch the whole episode on there, commercial free and music free on the YouTube. We also have the podcast, which is on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anghami. Again, Dushan, thank you very much, my man.
It was a pleasure.
Guys, have a great day. Coming up after this, you've got the Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah, and you can always catch me on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 3 to 4 on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95. Peace out.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.